Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to learn how to make this beautiful trendy bubu top with drawstring. If this is what you're interested in, keep watching, like, share and subscribe. Thank you. So to get started, I folded my fabric into four. I actually used 2 yards of fabric and I folded it into four like so. You can use more than that because I ended up having a shorter sleeve, so you can use more than that to achieve your desired length of sleeve. I went ahead to mark my starting point, which is where I'll be taking all my measurements from. So that's my starting point. I went ahead to also confirm the length of the sleeve. So I just exhausted what I had here, and I think it's about 19 inches. I went ahead to mark my shoulder slant of 1 inch at the edge there, and then my neckline I used 3 by 2 inches, 3 inches width by 2 inches depth, and I'm going to use the same neckline for both the front and the back. I don't want the neck to be too wide, so I did 3 inches by 2 inches. So I'll just connect my neck point to that shoulder slant I marked, that 1 inch shoulder slant I marked initially, like this. So that's that. And then I'll go ahead to mark the length of my sleeve opening, and I did 9 inches 9 inches for my sleeve opening. You can make it 8 inches if you want, but between 8 inches and 9 inches is okay. So that's my sleeve opening. And then I went ahead to mark 1 inch inwards, and I marked that 1 inch all the way down to the end of the fabric, which is the full length of my dress. The length of this dress is 60 inches. I just exhausted the length of the fabric, 60 inches. So I just continued marking my 1 inch all the way down to the hem of the dress. So I was done marking it, and then I'll go ahead and cut. This tutorial is actually very simple. There's no too much stress in it. So I'll just go ahead and cut off the neckline, cut off the shoulder point, like so. Just watch how I'm cutting it. It's a very easy tutorial and it's beginner friendly. Anybody can actually make this within the shortest time. So I'm going ahead to trim off that excess I have at the sleeve area there. Then I'll go ahead and cut out this 1 inch I marked all the way down. I'll just go ahead and cut it out, trim it off, so that we can have the full dress. So that's it, trimming it off like so. Okay, and I'll stop at that point, which is my sleeve opening, my sleeve length, the length of the sleeve opening, sorry. So I'll just stop at that point. So I'm opening up the folded part there. So this is it, but don't cut in. This is how it's supposed to be. So I have my front and my back here because I folded it into two. So I'll just go ahead and open it up and take out my back because we still have to work on the front. So I'll just go ahead and take out my back. This is what it looks like when you're done cutting. So I'll just take out one and use this one as my front. So this is what we're going to use as my front. So I went ahead to mark out where my belt, inner belt, is going to be. I just marked 14 inches, which is 2 inches below my under bust. I marked it there, and then my nipple to nipple divided by 2, which is 7 divided by 2, which is 3.5, and I marked it there. And at that point I also had to mark my waist divided by 4, 6.5, and I placed that mark there. So that point is where I'm going to go ahead and place my belt. So after that point, I came down by 3 inches from that particular point. Just follow my illustration, and then I went ahead to continue marking my 3.5 inches, which is my nipple to nipple, measurement all the way to the full length of the dress. So initially I marked 2 inches at that point, so I'm making it 3 inches, so it's 3 inches. 3 inches from that 14 inches. I came down by 3 inches. So I want to mark the belt on the belt points on the other side of the dress, because we are going to have two belts. So I've marked one, so I'm marking on the other side. So I just folded this in the other way inward, and then I marked the same point, 14 inches, and then I marked my waist measurement divided by 4, which is 6.5. So that's the point where my second belt will be. So we're having two belts, one here and one at the other side. Okay, so this is me just cross-checking my measurement to be sure I did the right thing. So from that 3 inches mark we did, I came down again by 10 inches. 10 inches. So that's where my slit is going to end. 10 inches. I just continue the 3.5 nipple to nipple measurements all the way straight there. So just watch. That's at that 10 inches point is where my slit is going to end. So I'm going to open it up to that particular point, to this particular point I'm marking out now. So just watch how I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it off all the way to that 10 inches point. So let's go ahead and cut it. So I'm just cutting out one point, just one of the fabric. Don't cut your both fabrics, just one side. One side, cut it all the way and stop at that 10 inches. See, so that's where my slit will end. The slit is on one side. Please note, don't go and cut your both fabrics folded together. So that is the slit. That is it. So that's where my slit is going to end. I'll go ahead and bias it now, and also bias the neckline. I'll come and show you. So this is it. I've used my bias to turn the neckline and also turn the slit area. See, and I went ahead to iron it out. So this is it. I will also do the same thing for the back. I have this piece of fabric that I've cut out. The length is about 11 inches, 12 inches, okay. And I folded the sides. I folded all the edges, the top, the sides, and all that. So I placed it on that our slit, just above the slit, 1 inch above the slit. On that 3.5 inches we marked initially. You can see my chalk line. I don't know if you can see it. So I'll just go ahead and sew it at the sides, only at the sides, and then one line at the center. So this is it. I've sewn the side. And I went ahead to sew a straight line at the midpoint. I just marked my midpoint and I sewed the straight line. So I'm going to pass this rope. I pass it in between those two lines there, those two holes that I have there, and then I'll stitch it at the top. See, I passed it in between those two holes, and then I'm going to stitch it at the top. So I'll just drag it up. I also went ahead to put my belt at the point we marked initially. I just placed my belt there, and this is what it's looking like. So this is my front, the drawstring, the slits, and our belt. So I'll go ahead and bring my back. I'll go ahead and place my back on my front, right side facing each other, so that we can be able to join the shoulder. So I'll go ahead and sew the shoulder point by 1/2 inches. I'll sew it up by 1/2 inches all the way. Just pin it down and sew all the way 1/2 inches. So this is it. I was done sewing it. I've done the shoulder. So I'll go ahead to fold the sleeve from that notch 1 inch we marked to the next 1 inch. I'm just going to fold it like this into one and a second fold. And I'll go ahead and stitch it from this end to the other end of the 1 inches. After that, I'll go ahead and sew my sides with 1 inch all the way, And that is it. We're done with the tutorial. So this is the outcome. See how it's looking. I also went to ahead to fold the down part, the hem part. I just folded it the same way I did with the sleeve. So if this tutorial was helpful, like, share, subscribe, and comment, please. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye.